Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Holden Blaze, and today we're going to be talking about Turbo cryptocurrency and comparing it to the Dogecoin run that we saw last cycle. Both of these meme coins are very different cryptocurrencies. However, Turbo is at a similar price point to Doge 4 years ago. Of course, we all know what happened to Dogecoin last cycle. It went from fractions of a cent all the way up above 60 cents. When this happened, Dogecoin was all over the news, and it was hard to open any social media platform without hearing about Dogecoin. This is a great example of euphoria that we see in the crypto markets, and it allowed Dogecoin to pump as high as it did. Now, looking at Turbo 4 years later, we're stuck wondering if Turbo can recreate that run that Doge did last cycle. Right now, Turbo is toying with all-time highs. It's sitting right below 1 cent. However, it was below 1/3 of 1 cent just a few weeks ago. This is very similar to the price point that we saw on Doge in October of 2020. It was sitting a little bit below 0.3 of 1 cent. However, after that, it really started to rocket ship. If we measure the percentage gain that Doge experienced from October 2020 to the top that it put in 2021, we have to note that it ran up over 270x. That's a 27,000% gain, and all of that gain happened after October of 2020. If we are predicting that this cycle will last 4 years like all others have, then we should be comparing 2024 to 2020. At this point, a lot of altcoins were still at suppressed levels. However, it was right before they started to rocket ship, and Doge is a great example of that. Today, if we're looking at Turbo sitting just below 1 cent, we're wondering if Turbo can experience that same run up and possibly get over 50 cents. This video will be analyzing whether or not this is possible. I will talk about the possibility of Turbo flipping Doge and how high I think Turbo can realistically go this cycle. Now, of course, we have to note that if it mimics the Dogecoin cycle, we could theoretically see a Turbo above 70 cents. I personally think that is very unlikely. However, we cannot rule it out of the cards completely. The only thing that I'm willing to say is that I don't think Turbo will go above $1. I think too many people will look for $1 to be an exit point. I personally don't think Turbo will hit $1, and I honestly don't think it will hit 90 cents because people are going to front run that selling. When you sell a cryptocurrency, you have to sell at a price point that someone else is willing to buy at. I personally think that Turbo possibly could top out around 70 cents, best case scenario. However, no matter what happens, I do not think Turbo will hit $1. I could be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this video is financial advice. However, that is my own opinion on the matter. That is because even with all of the hype that Dogecoin saw last cycle, it was not able to hit $1. There's too many people looking at that dollar amount to exit their Dogecoin, and it inevitably never occurred. I personally think that Turbo will not be able to generate the same online traction that Dogecoin was able to last cycle, just because Dogecoin was actually able to touch a 100 on the Google Trends score. It was the most searched thing on the internet for one period of time, and it's very hard to think that Turbo will be able to match that. However, Turbo does not necessarily have to match this amount of global attention to experience the same run that Doge did. That is because Turbo is sitting at a much lower market cap than Dogecoin right now, and it is extremely smaller than the market cap that Dogecoin eventually topped out at. You can see here that if Turbo matched the current market cap of Doge, Turbo would be sitting at 23 cents. I think 23 cents is a realistic target. I think it's possible. I'm not saying it's likely or going to happen or even smart to hold all of your bag until 23 cents. However, I do think 23 cents is much more realistic than something over 50 cents. At this point, Turbo would be over $16 billion in evaluation, and personally, I think that is doable. One of the reasons for that is the fact that Doge was able to hit a $88 billion market cap last cycle. If Turbo was able to do the same exact thing, it would in fact be above $1 and sit at $1.29. I know this contradicts my theory earlier of Turbo not going above $1, and I quite frankly am sticking to that theory. Despite the fact that Turbo could overshoot $1 if it matched the Doge market cap, I don't think that's a realistic target. Dogecoin last cycle was one of the only meme coins out there, and this cycle there are dozens and dozens of different meme coins that people are going to put their money into. I don't think Turbo is going to be able to flip Dogecoin, and for that reason, I don't think we should be looking at this price target as realistic. That being said, however, Turbo could still 25x to reach the current market cap of Doge, and that is a ton of gains we're still talking about. Dogecoin is currently sitting at 16.33 billion, and quite frankly, I think there's a lot of upside on Dogecoin. Not as much as Turbo, just because the market cap is so inflated. However, I would not be shocked if we saw Dogecoin back above 40 cents this cycle, and maybe even teasing with 50 cents. This would put the market cap of Doge closer to $65 billion, and that means there's still a ton of upside for Turbo, even if it doesn't flip Doge. That is because despite the recent run up in price, Turbo is still sitting below $600 million in market cap. That means it still has a lot to pump in order to reach $1 billion, which is currently 1/16 of the overall market cap of Dogecoin. In fact, if we look at some of the top meme coins in the space, we have to note that Turbo is currently in the top 15, but despite the recent pump, it's still not in the top 10. I personally think that Turbo is easily a top 10 meme coin, and I would not be shocked if it spent some time in the top 5 this bull market. I personally think that the top 3 is very hard to get into. I think Dogecoin, Pepe, and Shiba Inu will be the top 3 throughout this bull market. The positions may swap around a little bit. However, I do think the 4 and 5 spot for meme coins will rotate around much faster. We currently have Dog with Hat and Bonk in the 4 and 5 spots. However, I would not be shocked at all if Turbo spent some time in the top 5. It's very common in bull markets for coins to have their time in the spotlight, and when that time occurs, they're really able to climb the coin market cap rankings. However, we have to note that every coin will experience that spotlight at a different moment, and so while Turbo may be a top 5 meme coin for a couple weeks, it does not mean it's a top 5 meme coin for the next couple of years. It's likely going to spend some time in the top 5 and then drop out of the top 5 and possibly try to get in the top 5 again if it is a proven winner. However, the reason I'm talking about the top 5 meme coins so much is the fact that it gives us a gauge of how high Turbo might go this bull market. If we think that Turbo can run up to the number 4 position in market cap for meme coins, we have to start looking at the 3rd largest meme coin as a potential ceiling of how high Turbo can go. Currently, that meme coin is Pepe, and it's sitting at a market cap of $4.2 billion. The all-time high of Pepe was closer to $7 billion, and it is 11x higher than Turbo is right now. Even at the current price level, Pepe is 6.5 times larger than Turbo, and quite frankly, I don't think Turbo can flip Pepe this cycle. Despite how much I love Turbo, Pepe is a meme recognized by billions of people, and I really think that Turbo is not going to flip Pepe whatsoever. That being said, I do think Pepe still has a lot of upside for this bull market. It's currently sitting at $4.2 billion, and this is a meme coin that I think can run up towards $80 billion. I think Pepe can toy with the all-time high market cap Dogecoin set in 2021, and I would not be surprised if Pepe still has another 20x left in the tank. If that happens, the ceiling for Turbo is only going to go higher. We know that realistically it's not going to pass Pepe. However, realistically, it could be in the number 4 spot for a couple weeks. With that logic, we have to think that Turbo cannot get above $80 billion. If that is our target for Pepe, it makes no sense why Turbo should have that same target. And if I'm being honest, I think a more realistic price target for Turbo is under $50 billion. $50 billion is a massive psychological level, and it's going to be very hard for meme coins to break above it. I think only a handful will be able to, and while I think Pepe is one of those few, I don't think Turbo will be able to do that with too much ease. However, if Turbo was sitting below $50 billion in market cap at something like 35, it would still put the price above 50 cents. We have to note that Turbo would be 23 cents if it had a market cap of 16.3 billion, which means Turbo would be valued around 47 cents when sitting at a $33 billion market cap. I do think there is a world where it is possible Turbo runs up to around 45 to 49 cents, people front run 50 cents, and it tops out. this would still be absolutely amazing for anyone holding Turbo. It would mean we still have a 50x left in the tank this cycle, and it would be an absolute win. However, despite all of that, I don't think it's smart to rely on Turbo hitting 45 cents. A much more realistic price target for Turbo is under 20 billion. However, we would still see price around 25 plus cents. This would be absolutely amazing for Turbo, and I'm really making this video to highlight the fact that Turbo does not need to flip some of the top meme coins in the space. In fact, I think it's very, very unlikely that it flips Doge, Sheep, or Pepe, but despite this fact, it could still offer us 25x upside in this coming bull market. Now, of course, like I've outlined in other videos, I'm not gonna hold all of my Turbo to sell at $1 amount. I'm gonna start ladder selling as price goes higher and higher. However, I'm not a financial advisor, and this video is not financial advice. Always do your own research before investing into cryptocurrency, but if you enjoyed the content, consider subscribing to the channel and check out some of the other videos around my channel. I hope you all have a great day. Peace out.